Welcome back to the greenhouse, everybody. We're out here today kind of readjusting all of these systems and kind of doing what I've been talking about. I am getting everything dug out and lines run, and I've got a bunch of copper tubing I'm going to be running out there within a week or so here. So I'll be kind of getting my compost heating system ready and set up in place, but I won't be building my compost pile until it gets a little cooler outside. I just want to get all of this ready. So jumping a little closer here, we've got our new plexiglass covered solar controller box there, and I just kind of built all this out of material that I had, scrap material I had. This little offcut of PVC fit perfectly in there. I had to shave it a little bit, but this stuff's really hard to cut without splintering it. So I just kind of built the box to fit, and I've got all my systems ran, and I've got a nice little gasket that I had made out of some old pond liner. I cut a nice little square and stapled it all the way around. So I've got a nice watertight seal, or semi-watertight seal, and I've got this anchored up on my back wall here so I can have all of this free space to basically insulate here. I'm going to insulate, and then I will be running my air and water lines either underneath or right through the wall here. So I've been clearing this corner out with the intentions of getting all of these systems up and running and bringing an update on that. This is just a bland little corner right now, but all of my heating systems will run right through this little corner here, and I am going to move my battery bank down in this area. I'm going to drain this tub real quick, and we're going to move this down to the other side of the greenhouse, because we are going to hook up this tiny little 12-volt battery to this system here and just kind of operate it to get this water pumped out of here so we can move this large tank. We got our large tank drained up, and we got it down on the southern end of our greenhouse. We've still got a little sludge and stuff in there. We should be able to clean that up pretty good, so we'll be able to get some fresh water in here, and I'm going to cover it with some type of dark opaque covering so it doesn't get algae growing, because I plan on running at least one outlet to somewhere in this area. So I'll be able to plug in one outlet and possibly heat this water up with some type of compost system heating this also, paired with our other long Jean Pain composting that I'll have our PEX. I want to hook our PEX up to a copper coil inside here so our hot water will run through here and transfer some heat to this water while running some type of animal trough heater. Basically just a little de-icer that will sit kind of like a fish tank heater, but with low draw. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money to warm that up when I will be pairing it with our compost heating also. So let's run down and check out the other side of the greenhouse now that we've got this halfway cleared out. So here we are down at the northern side of our greenhouse here. We've got our new solar controller. We've got our whole empty space. This is where our battery bank is going to go. I'm going to be cleaning up this corner and leveling out the soil and possibly laying a little bit of tarp down. Where our overflow tank was, or just our heat sink was, we have no insulation from the ground. Now with this tub, it's rubber, so it doesn't have as much draw and give between the two, as metal will transfer heat much faster and much easier than this rubber or plastic will. So we've got this corner cleaned out, got ourselves a nice little battery bank or a solar cell, and it's only 2 batteries right now running to our system that's got our timer on it, so we will be able to really control and manipulate our water pump. I've got another solar controller for our other solar panel. These are 2 different kinds of solar panels we're running, so I want to show that, but I wanted to talk about this real quick. I will be able to add to this. I'm going to acquire a few more batteries. I'd like to have 4, 6, even 8 batteries in this little solar cell, so I want to leave myself a bunch of room, and I want to be able to insulate behind all of that. So I'm leaving myself room back there so I can insulate all my northern wall. So I've pretty well talked about this new little solar system I've got set up. We got our nice plexiglass to protect it here. Got our little timer. I do not have any power running out of this box yet. All of the power is running in. Our little gasket there is holding nice. I had to run our wire up. I will get all of these wires situated. I have an absolute mess of wires over here in this corner right now, because I just hooked up our other solar controller, banking on this tiny little battery here. So I've got this little fan that I am going to use to basically push air through our wall, through our compost, through a tube. We lost our camera earlier. Note to self, keep second set of batteries charged up. So we were out here talking about our compost heating system that we're running, this little 12-volt DC system. Simple little setup. So I was out here basically turning this on, testing this fan. This is going to work great for us, and if I go any bigger on the batteries here, I can link them up like our other system, and I can go well into the night with this and have lots of longevity with this little system here. Basically pushing with this fan our compost through our top hose down and out the bottom, and if this system does shut off, it will automatically start naturally filtering all the hot air through the top and siphoning air up, colder air from the floor due to the natural draw of the heat on here. I'll shut this fan off real quick. So the only part I don't really have set up yet is where I'm going to kind of rough up my ground where my tarp is now, because I was kind of mashing weeds. I'm getting ready to till that out and make a nice ring and run our lines underneath of here, and I've got to drill my holes. I've got a lot of ideas coming, and I just wanted to finish this video up all the way because of our earlier camera incidents. So I just wanted to share how we're using that little fan and how I'm going to use these two systems together. So this is going to be our water-based system. This will be functioning to hold and store energy to move our water through the compost and through the floor of our greenhouse, and thus into the little hoops we're going to build in here. Now on the other side of the door we have our air moving system. So all of these will be basically powered into this corner, and we will be running all of our air and water through this one corner. This large tank is going to be insulated from the ground. We're going to pull this up, get all this out of here, and re-dig the area out and insulate this from the soil before we fill this up, so we can really have some heat retention and have a nice heat sink at the same time. So I had pulled out some of our stainless like chimney ducting that I had gotten on sale last season. I'm gonna go search for some more flex tubing basically, so I can run these straight pipes and have a little bit of flex tubing so I can fill out my space into my compost pile, so I can really warm those tubes up and really force some warm air into the greenhouse on those really cold winter nights. And I want to thank everybody for watching these videos and bouncing ideas with me. I wanted to share, this is our little compost heating coil we used last year. This water looks kind of dirty. I was kind of cleaning this up and cleaning our coil up. So this is my idea for this. I want to run our hot compost water through this to aid in the heating of this tank. So I will have a large tank down there, large tank here, to really hold a lot of heat into the night. And basically that's what we're trying to do, is hold as much heat into the night as we can and keep from freezing up in here on those very, very cold winter days. We're going to be also excavating this one out. I was just filling this up enough so I could scrub it, clean my copper off, basically use all that water to water all these plants in the next day or two, and then we're going to excavate all this out, and we will be bringing another longer update on all of our compost heating systems as we continue to progress towards winter.